Welcome, and thank you for joining me on the mat today. Today's class, we're going to be focusing on stretching out our legs. You won't need any props, but if it's available to you, I do recommend having a hardwood or a linoleum floor that you're practicing on. We're going to be doing a little bit of sliding for one of our exercise. If that's not available to you, we can modify, no worries. So if you have your mat rolled out, we'll get started. Find a nice, comfortable seated position. Grow tall through the spine. Let those shoulders be nice and heavy away from the ears. And we're just going to start with 3 simple, deep breaths to get us settled into our practice. As you inhale, reach the arms up, grow nice and tall. Exhale, let the hands come through heart center. And inhale, reach up. Exhale through heart center. And one more. Lovely. Let's make our way onto our back. If your hamstrings in the back of your legs are really tight, I'm going to recommend keeping this left knee bent and foot planted on the floor. If it's available to you, you can send it out long. We're going to hug the right leg in towards us, grabbing underneath the thigh. Giving a little bit of flex into the foot, so toes pointed towards you. So we're going to try and keep as much tension and pull on this leg as possible. As we inhale, we're going to start to point the toes towards the ceiling. Trying to get the leg as straight as possible. It doesn't need to be completely straight. And we'll notice that if you want to get straighter, your leg might need to be a little bit further away. But you're still getting as much stretch if you keep a little bit of bend in the leg. And then we're going to just exhale, flex the foot, bring it back down. So we're going to take a couple moving with the breath, nice and slow. Feel that tension, and then exhale to relax. Lovely. This time we're going to hold at the top. Give it a little bit of a 6-second hold. Exhale, relax. And again, we're going to repeat this one 2 more times. Inhale, lift and hold. Exhale. One more. Bring it back down. Send it back down to the mat or out long. Take a little pause at the bottom. You can let those arms just hang by our sides as well. Just taking a little bit of body awareness. Just noticing how the right leg feels a little bit different from the left. And we're going to hug that left leg in. And recognizing that one leg might be able to come a little bit closer than the other. When you're ready, starting with that breath, stretch, point the toes. Exhale, flex and bring it back. And again, 3 rounds with that 6-second hold, straight and hold. Relax. Inhale, reach, hold. Exhale. One more. And bend into that left leg. Send it down the mat. Again, taking that moment to observe. Just give both legs a little bit of a hug. We'll just take a little tiny rock side to side or in circles while we're down here. Just feels really good on the spine. And then we're going to rock ourselves up to a nice, tall, comfortable seated position. And then here's where we're going to come off the mat onto the floor, if it's available to you. So we're going to send those legs out, and we're going to bring a generous bend in the knees, as we want our chest and our thighs to give our legs a little bit of hug. And we're going to grab the bottom of our feet. So keeping the feet where they are, we can start to slide the bum back and then relax it back in. So if you can't really slide, you can kind of do this little scooching motion. But sliding is a little bit easier, a little more fun. And come back up. So same thing as we're doing before. We're taking a few movements with the breath. And it just helps to get the muscles familiar with the stretch. But it also allows the muscles to stretch and then come back to their original position. Those legs as straight as you can. You'll notice I'm not going all the way straight. All right, we're going to take 3 rounds with that 6-second hold. You can let that head be a little bit heavy too if you'd like. And back up. Slide it back. And one more. Relax back up, release those feet. Whew, nice job. All right, we're gonna stretch out the top of our legs for a little bit. So we're going to come back to our mat and come over onto our bellies. So you can start with the chest up nice and high if you like. We're gonna bring a bend into this right foot so that we can grab the top outside of that right leg. So even here, I'm already starting to feel a little bit of stretch in my top of the thigh. So give that foot a little bit of a pull. If it's available to you, you like to relax a little, you can come down onto that hand. Gentle little pull. Slowly release. And switch it up. Left leg. Grab that foot. Perhaps come down to the earth. Little bit of a pull. And release. Bring those hands underneath your shoulders. We're going to press into a tabletop position here. So we want the wrists below the shoulders, fingers spread nice and wide. This creates a nice big base to support your wrists and protect them. Knees about in line with the hips, but we're possibly going to be moving them a little bit further, a little bit closer away from us in just a second. Anyways, coming into our down dog, tuck the toes underneath, press through the hands, send the hips up and back. Let your gaze come between your knees or up at your belly button. And we're going to take some nice, generous little bends in one knee, straighten the other leg, heel tries to come to the earth, and then nice and switch. So we're going really slow here. High up onto those toes. Perhaps you can even time that with your breath. Inhale to rise. Exhale, bend.
And let the hips sway a little bit as well if that feels good. And as we do this, we're still thinking of sending that chest back towards the thighs as much as possible. Coming back to both legs, straight-ish. So our focus on our down dog is actually our hands to our shoulders, to our hips in a straight line, and not necessarily my legs. So I'm keeping a nice little bend in my knees. Heels are not quite touching the floor yet. All right, high up onto the toes. Take a nice generous bend in the knees, and then just step or hop if you're feeling really energetic. And just let this head and the arms be heavy in the forward fold here. Again, you can keep a nice little bend in the knees here. We don't want to hyperextend them backwards. So just consciously keeping just a little bit bend in the knees is always nice. And then your hands and your head can be as close to the earth as possible. You're still getting a stretch in the back of the legs. All right, we'll take a little half lift so your hands come to your shins or your thighs, flat back, and then relax back to the earth. Let it all go. Inhale, come all the way up, reach up, grow tall. And then let your hands come to heart center here. I'm just going to shift back on my mat just a little bit. And I'm going to take my right heel to the earth, straight right leg, little bit of a bend in the left leg here. Options here with your hands, you can keep them at your heart center or bring them behind your back. Sometimes this helps us keep a nice tall spine, chest lifted. And we're just going to lean forward. Notice my hips are going back just a little bit further. Lean towards this right leg. And again, we're moving with the breath. Now you may feel like some of these movements are quite similar. And you're right, they are. But sometimes doing the same stretch in a different position with the body helps the muscles learn, but also helps you recognize which stretch is most effective for you. All right. So I think this time we'll only do 2 with that 6-second hold. Good, rise up. And one more. Rise up, bring the feet together. Perhaps you need a little bit of walk, a little bit of movement in the hips. A casual release. Left leg. So again, toes up, bend in that right leg, and moving with our breath. Exhale forward. Keeping that flat back, inhale, rise. And again, 2 rounds with that 6-second hold. And rise. Inhale, rise. And left leg back in. A little bit of movement, a little bit of a walk. All right, we're going to take one last little stretch, nice and easy. Simple forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Grow nice and tall. As you exhale, fold forward. And head and arms heavy. Take a few deep exhales. Perhaps you can feel a little bit heavier every time you exhale. Good. Take a generous bend in the knees just so we can get back onto the earth, nice and casual like.
And take a comfortable seated position. Sit up tall through the spine. Maybe take a couple movements with the shoulders and the neck. And we'll close out our practice with 3 deep breaths together. So again, inhale, reach up, grow tall. Exhale, heart center. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Let those hands rest together at heart center. I thank you for joining me on the mat today. I look forward to seeing you again soon. The light in me sees and honors the light in each of you. Namaste.